been here. When did you actually get here? Because I know you had to graduate from Stanford.
Right.
I think you've been committed for a long time.
Right. So I committed back in January, right, after my visit, and I got here in June, early June.
Okay.
Had to fly back for graduation after, doing all that stuff. Graduated early, a year early, but I actually graduated like a year and 3 weeks early.
Wow.
I finished all my finals. I didn't have any finals to finish.
How do you do that? I mean, you played football,
right?
That's crazy.
So I mean, even more than that, I was working for Dr. Condoleezza Rice on campus, and really just nose down, just facing the books and getting all the work done that you possibly can in an orderly fashion, but it was often chaotic, being able to get all that stuff done. But I always say I'm so thankful, eternally thankful for Stanford and the degree that I was given and the experiences that I was given. I mean, I went to school with some of the greatest minds that this country has to offer, and it was some of the coolest times that I've had in my life. We're talking to people there, General H.R. McMaster, General Mattis, Dr. Rice. My advisor was Michael McFall. So just meeting with some of the greatest, our nation's greatest dignitaries was amazing, but you really had to put in the work, because if you want to get done a year early at Stanford, I mean, you have to grind your butt off. So
I mean, you're still going to be grinding here, but is the workload a little less now that you've got that undergraduate? I know you're still pursuing a graduate degree, but I can't think it's as intense maybe as it has been over the last 2 or 3 years for you, right?
Yeah, I honestly am not too sure. We start school in about a week.
Okay, you'll find out.
Or not even a week, like a few days. And I have had no time to kind of really look through the syllabus, the syllabi for my classes. So I have 4 classes, and I got to check them out tonight. I know what I'm taking.
So you're not taking basket week.
No. It's a master's in management, and it's an emphasis with integrated business. We have a few guys that have done it here, and they've loved the program. I know it's a lot of presentations, and I love presenting stuff. So I think it's going to be a really fun master's program to be able to do. Year-long program, so it's going to be over the course of this next year, but I'm really excited for it. I mean, I've never really done anything in business. It's all been political focus, kind of a focus on politics. So being able to broaden my horizon academically and learn new things is great. It's awesome.
Okay, so obviously you came in, you said centers, there's multiple guys competing, you've been in that mix. What's that competition been like?
It's been great. Coach Hand always says competition brings out the best in all of us. You have to come to practice every single day. Like, your job depends on it, because it does. I mean, if you screw up and the other guys don't screw up, you can very easily drop in the depth chart. If you're doing well, you can very easily rise in the depth chart. It's what you put on film. Your film is a job resume, and Coach Hand stresses that to us. What you put on film is what I'm going to see and evaluate you on. So it's been great. I mean, I love the other 2 centers we have in the room. Kit and Bula are great guys. Obviously, we're from out west, Bula and I, so we have that
I asked
similarity.
Bula a few minutes ago, have you gotten used to it? Because he was talking about being hot in spring. Have you been here this past week? It's crazy.
So it was brutal this last spring. My dad actually played at UNLV back in the 80s, and he always told me it felt like, exactly. His roommate was Suge. So my dad always would tell me, breathing out there in the desert, you feel like your lungs are on fire. Well, I tell my dad here, I'm like, Dad, it feels like I have boiling water in my lungs when I'm breathing out here in the heat. So but I think I've definitely acclimated to it. The heat's different. I mean, it's the humidity that really gets you, but I think overall my body's done well at kind of transitioning from the west to the southeast, and I mean, I love Florida. It's a beautiful state, and the weather. I like the rain showers every day. It's kind of fun.
Cools it down a little bit.
It's fun. We didn't have rain in California really ever, so I've really enjoyed kind of the transition, getting here and getting used to it.
Now, what's been the toughest transition for you? Just jumping in, maybe a little bit later than some other guys, but just kind of getting acclimated and learning the offense and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just think obviously there was a learning curve because I got here late, and the guys. I wouldn't really say a learning curve. I would say there was just. It took a little longer for me just because I wasn't because I wasn't here in the spring, but I knew what was going on, and I was able to kind of just kind of stay on track with my training and everything, and just do everything I needed to do. Getting here though, Coach Hand has made it a seamless process. Learning the offense, I feel like I have a really good grip on it. Stanford was a pro style offense. We were point based on the offensive line. Like, there were rules. We had rules for every single thing, and obviously the mind of David Shaw when it comes to college football is very I mean, his offense back early, in the 2012 and those years, I mean, Stanford's offense was rolling, right? I mean, so being able to know that offense and now coming into a new offense, I have the general terminology that I need to know to be able to learn everything that Coach Hand talks about. Ironic, it's interesting. My first offensive line coach, Kevin Carberry, shout out Coach Carberry, he's an awesome offensive line coach, won a Super Bowl with the Rams after he left Stanford. Him and Coach Hand are actually really good friends. So they all speak in the same terminology because a lot of the techniques they have are crossover, right? They're carryover. So being able to have that backing with Coach Carberry my freshman year at Stanford, and now doing a lot of the same things that he taught with Coach Hand, and Coach Hand implementing the things that they both have talked about is awesome. I really love the stuff that they teach, and it's been a really seamless process learning it.
Yeah, we asked John Rice the other week about differences between different centers, and he kind of pointed some things out that maybe we don't always pay attention to. You're more of you're a dead ball snapper.
Yeah, so it's dead ball.
The other guys are more like a spin snapper.
Exactly.
Right? Like, is that just something as a center you grow up doing it a certain way, or is that what Stanford wanted you to do? Is that just kind of ingrained in you?
Right. Yeah, so Coach Carbs actually had all of us centers at Stanford snap at a dead ball. So for those that don't know, a dead ball snap is, a standard snap is like you're throwing a football just backwards, right? You just fling it back there.
Spiral in it.
Exactly. So a dead ball snap is, so you have the football, it's going this way, you have your hand on the tip of the ball like this, and you launch it back like that instead of like that. So that's kind of the main idea behind that. Just gets the ball back in one movement. I mean, I think JR likes it because it just gets back there in one fluid motion, just straight back. I was taught to do it like that, and Coach Hand says, however you get it back, get it back. That's been a great thing, and playing in front of him has been awesome. I love John Rice off the field and on the field. He's a great guy.
Tell me about this offense. Now that you've been right in the middle of it, been through a few scrimmages, getting to know John Rice. I know I'm really excited about the improvement he's going to make. Really, last year was his first full year being a starting quarterback, so this is going to be a big year for him to make a jump. A lot of talent offensively. What gets you excited when you look at your offense?
Speed. The absolute speed and the weapons we have on the field is something that I'm really excited about. We have guys that I've never seen guys move so fast on the field when it comes to our running backs specifically. Those guys take off. I mean, they'll jump cut and just like flip a switch, and it's like they launch downfield and can make guys miss, and it's really awesome. This offense, if I had one word to describe this offense, it would be fast. Our offense is rolling out there. I mean, we're going, Coach Malzahn's whole idea is the hurry up offense. Get to the ball, get to the ball, get to the ball, get to the ball. Wherever it is, get on it, get set, make your point, go. So I like that offense. At Stanford, I was used to everyone in a huddle. We all get in a huddle, we make our calls, we make our points. He play call, get to the ball, make your point. Go through a whole process in your head of like, okay, two back, there's the point, or X, Y, and Z. Here at UCF, everything's just so fast. It's like, get to the ball, there's your point, go. I mean, look to the sideline, get your signal, look, point, go. I mean, everything's flying. I think that's something that's really incredible about this offense is like, there's no time for jogging around. You have to be running to the next spot to go, because if you're going, the defense is slowing, right? I mean, if you're going super fast, the defensive linemen are going to be huffing and puffing and tapping out, real quick. So I think that's something that's awesome, and it's great progress it's great training for our defensive line here to be able to see the hurry up offenses, because they're getting great conditioning out there going against us, and we're getting great conditioning, having to follow our rules. So
so you brought the bagpipes with you from California.
I did. Yep, they're here.
Were the guys surprised? Or
they were surprised. I'm sure they've seen it on my Instagram before, but they loved it. It was a big hit when I did it for media or our photo shoot the other day. So being able to play those has been something that I think the fans loved, which was kind of cool. Kind of just adds like a little, I don't know, like a little difference, Drake's the bagpipe player. It's been really cool being able to play those for the guys.
Obviously, you've been here and you made the decision to come here, but is it sad to kind of look back at Stanford and the Pac-12 and kind of things have kind of disintegrated, and I know they're in limbo right now. I mean, obviously you got a lot of friends on that program. I mean, what's kind of your thoughts on everything that's kind of gone down here the last few weeks? It's
definitely sad to see what's happening to Stanford right now. Like I said, I loved my time there in a lot of aspects, and then some aspects could have been a lot better. Like, I wish we would have won more games at Stanford. I think that dissuaded a lot of us from staying. So it's sad right now, but I can't say a lot of us didn't see it coming. The writing was on the wall with teams starting to move around, and it's all about making money at the end of the day. Teams are going to leave and they're going to go where they need to go for money, and it's sad, but Thankfully, Stanford has a lot of money, so I think they'll be fine at the end of the day, hopefully. But I feel bad for the guys. I feel for the guys that are still in that program. I love those guys that I played with the last 3 years of my life. Just spent every single day with them. So it's tough to see that, but we had to look out for our best self-interest. We got our degree and we're like, okay, let's go somewhere now where we're going to be able to succeed in football. So I think the guys that all transferred out all of us are super happy in our spots. We have guys at Michigan, at Duke, at Oklahoma. You have guys all over, and I think all of us are generally happy, and that's the biggest thing. We want to play really good football, but we want to be happy at the end of the day too while we're playing really good football, because you can have this facade that like life's good, but if you're really not enjoying it, why do it? So I can say that about me, is that I'm really loving my experience here, and I'm so excited to start off with Kent State in 2 weeks from now in front of entire Night Nation. I mean, I am fired up right now to hear Zombie Nation play in the beginning and have everyone just freak out.
So you've got what, 3 years?
3 years of eligibility.
So I know you're worried about this season coming up, but isn't that kind of cool? I mean, the Pac-12's kind of coming to you a little bit when you look at the future Big 12. You got games in Arizona, you're going to be playing Utah, some places that you've been before. I mean, a little bit closer for your fame. You're from Orange County, right?
Yes, sir.
So I mean, they could drive to Phoenix.
Of course,
It's a short flight or whatever. So that kind of neat. It
is cool.
In the future, that you're kind of going out west.
Yeah, it's very cool. Obviously focused on year one, just doing the best I possibly can this season, but knowing that I have that security from a sense of like, okay, my school's not going to get kind of jacked around in this whole process of realignment is a very good feeling, because you're like, okay, I'm somewhere that's very stable right now, and actually I wouldn't say stable, it's very volatile. Like, we're on the rise right now, like we're going like this as a program, so but it's going like this, and it's not going up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's great to be in a position where we're powerful right now, and I'm very confident we're going to do really well in the Big 12 this year against other teams.
Speaking of that, what are your expectations for this year? I mean, a lot of people may think like, this team's coming from the American, they haven't played a Big 12 schedule, maybe they can't stack up with a Kansas State or Oklahoma or whatever. How do you feel about it? How do the guys feel they're going to do in their first year?
Right. I mean, I've played with Power 5 teams. I mean, specifically my last team, but I've played against Power 5 teams, and this is a Power 5 football team. I mean, the guys we have here are, like I said, weapons, and I think we stack up great against other teams. I think a lot of people are doubting us, obviously. We're coming from not a non-Power 5 conference into a Power 5 conference. It comes with the natural UCF, they may not be the best this year. No, like, we're not taking that as like, we hear it and it's driving us to be even better. When somebody says you can't do something, we're gonna go do it, and we're gonna make sure to put everyone on notice this season. So really excited to be able to do that with this team, and I expect nothing but greatness from us. I expect us to win, and just dominate, specifically up front in the trenches. I think we should go out there, we will go out there and just absolutely dominate defensive lines.
Awesome, man. Great way to end it. I appreciate it, Trey.
Appreciate it.
Enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much.